So, ladies and gentlemen, if I am emotional in this particular video, it is for good reason. I'm about to give away so much value to you for free that it should be illegal to post this on YouTube for completely free. I am not joking. I have literally gone back through my entire old booklet, my old mindset journal, my old goals, my old schedule, routines, mindset, the mental programming I had to take myself through when I was completely broke, right? And I'm just gonna show you and give it to you for free so you can replicate my exact steps, my exact actions, my exact mindset and thinking and thought process so you can go about scaling yourself up to 10K, 20K, 30K, 50K, all the way up to making your first $1.1 million online. Now guys, I am not even joking. This has probably been the most emotional video I've ever had to create. Like, I don't even know where to start this, but I know if you just stick with me for a few minutes, I'm really gonna change your life. And if you don't believe me, I'm just gonna show you on the screen right here why I'm doing these videos. Take a look at this guy. This wasn't even posted on my Instagram story 1 hour ago. And he put, making my first 500 euros following your advice is crazy. I owe you a lot. And obviously he's got a very beautiful background here. But as you can see, he's made 500 euros because of me, which is about, I think it's about 550 USD or whatever it is. And I said, congratulations, brother. And I said, are you doing agency or coaching? He said, coaching. So I'm about to break down to you guys is honestly the most emotional stuff I've had to go through. In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna show you right now. So this right here is something I created way back in 2019 when I was completely broke in my parents' bedroom. I'm just gonna scroll over here a second. I'm gonna scroll to my YouTube channel, and you can literally see in the background of my YouTube channel, the exact, in fact, take a look. You'll see the yellow Lamborghini here. You've got the house here. You've got Dan Locke here. You've got Mr. Sam Ovens himself here. You've got my apartment thing here, the apartment I wanted. And don't forget, guys, this is me, dead broke, literally dead broke in my parents' bedroom. And this was on the 29th of October, 2019. I'm gonna show you that exact same image. Guys, I'm actually starting to break up here because I'm not joking. This stuff is literally weird. So this is a mindset journal, right? And as you can see, that's the exact same image I had posted up on my wall. In fact, I should bring it back a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see that, right? So this is like all my goals, my vision board, the house I want, Mr. Dan Locke, because he was very good at sales back in the day, the cars I wanted. I was thinking I was being greedy with these two cars. Now I can literally just go and buy them cash multiple times over. The Mercedes Benz, crazy. I've just put one of those back on my vision board, talking about a Benz C63. It's actually a Benz E63 that I want now. I mean E53. There's Nikola Tesla, there's Sam Ovens there, the legend himself. And then you can kind of see like my legacy to date. So if anyone's wondering what this booklet is basically the mental programming I had to take myself through when I was completely broke. So it's the Montel Gordon identity at the top of the page here, like what I want to identify with. Almost, funnily enough, it's almost like this guy's background here, which funnily enough, because I created this like 8 years ago. But if you take a look at this guy's background, who I've just helped make his first $500 online, you'll see that he's got like a vision board type thing. And that was my vision board. It's just that I printed it off. As you can see again, the house, the yellow Lamborghini. That's the same yellow Lamborghini that was as my wallpaper on my computer, by the way. So if you know where I started my business from and the actual terrible little desk I had, you'll see my home screen, and that's the same wallpaper of that same Lamborghini on my laptop. The reason why this is so eerie is because of this bit right here. So this book is basically a breakdown of all the steps I've taken so far, and no, at this moment in time, and the steps that I want to take in the future. I'm just gonna read some of these out for you because this is, when I say I was reading this back, because again, I forgot about this entire book. I actually had to go digging for this. It's got dust on it. I don't know if you can see the fingerprints, but this has actually got dust on it right here. You might not be able to see, there you go, some dust. It's actually got dust on it because I put this in a drawer, completely forgot about it. And pretty much every single thing I said I would achieve in 2019, I've achieved. And I'm gonna break down exactly how I've done this to you guys, the mental programming and the exact schedule so you can follow this along. This is gonna be one of the craziest videos you probably see, because honestly, this is scarily accurate. Don't forget that I was dead broke back here. So let me just read some of these off for you so you can kind of, you might be able to pause this and read some of these. Pause, read, whatever you wanna do. I'm just gonna read some of these off for you. So these were the things that I'd already achieved as I was creating this particular booklet, and these are the things that I was gonna go on to achieve, or what I wanted to achieve, my goals basically, that I had not yet realized. They didn't exist basically. They were just goals on a vision board. So the first thing was, this is the Montel Gordon story. A broke, shy, introverted university dropout who started entrepreneurship with $0 in his bank account, it was actually £0 in my bank account, having failed his clothing line and dropshipping businesses. He found SMA, taught himself the ins and outs of the industry through YouTube, and worked with a dental practice that was successful. That was my first ever dental client, by the way. He then taught himself advanced business strategies and started to consult people struggling to find leads for their agencies. So my actual initial goal, or the initial thing that I started helping people with, was I was actually really good. And you can see this and fact check this back on my YouTube channel. My actual first money didn't actually come from SMA. It actually came from, first of all, drop shipping. I started a clothing line, that failed. Started drop shipping, that was okay. So I made my first couple $100 or whatever it was from drop shipping, probably even a little bit more than that, to be honest with you, my first like $1,000 or whatever it was. But then I actually started jumping into SMA, and although I couldn't close clients, what I was really good at was scraping leads and setting appointments. I was actually quite good at those two things. Well, appointments I got better at. That was always a struggle. That will always be a struggle when you do cold outreach, by the way. You never get over that. But I was really good at scraping leads. So my first kind of like win online was my first ever quote unquote coaching call, which was on the 16th of January 2019. And that was a £50. I charged somebody £50 to jump on a Zoom call with me. And I basically just sat them down and I just coached them. And when I say coached, I wasn't really a coach. I felt like I was scamming them. It felt horrible because I'd never done this before and I wasn't really successful myself. And all I did was, it just took the bit that I was actually good at, that I was just 2 steps ahead of the person that I was speaking to, and I just helped them with that. Which again is proving everything that I'm doing right now with this YouTube channel over the last like 1 to 2 months. Keep saying to you guys, you're actually better off building a business where you can detach your income from time by productizing the knowledge and information that you have in your own mind right now. AKA, I was on my way to build an SMA, trying to build an SMA, couldn't get it to work. But what I was good at was actually leads, like scraping leads, finding leads, scraping leads, and doing the outreach. So I basically just jumped on a call with somebody who DM'd me, by the way. And and this guy was called William Boston. William Boston, if you're ever watching this, he was my first ever quote unquote consulting, coaching client. And it was £50 for 1 hour on Zoom. And I just basically explained to him how I'm scraping leads for my own agency. That was it. Made my first ever $50 online. January the 16th, 2019. Absolutely insane. Then I had my first 1K month in March 2019. Then I turned my knowledge into my first ever digital program, which was a program called Lead Sourcing Alchemy, LSA, which was just like it was a mini course, a mini program where it was basically, I just got bored of taking, it was very repetitive when I was telling everybody, here's how you scrape leads, here's how you scrape leads, here's how you scrape leads. I said, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna put this same information on how to scrape leads into a program, and I sold it for like I think it was like $100. I was at $100. So it was the same information, just put into a program. That then enabled me to put my car back on the road because I literally couldn't afford the insurance or the tax. My insurance back then, I think was like £1,000 a year, which is like £83 a month or something like that. So I was super broke back then. Then it was the birth of my proper agency. And then just look at this. This is the bit that really got me, this bit over here, right? Lands his first paying client. And guess what? I put a picture of an actual real estate agent right there. And I had yet to, I created this, no joke. I created this. I don't know if you can see that. I'll read it out for you if you can't see it. If you can pause that and read that real quick. I created this on the 10th of August, 2019. So the very next month, I actually closed my first ever client First ever $1,000 per month client for my actual agency that was a proper paying client for Facebook ads, and I got them inbound through LinkedIn, and guess what type of client they were? A real estate agent. How crazy is that? I literally used a realtor picture, just a stock image of just like a random realtor picture, closed my first client. Then it goes on to say, you know, builds my team for my agency, scales my business to 10K a month, moves into my dream apartment. Listen to this. This really got me. This really, really got me. This is so scary that it makes my, you know, like when you tell a scary horror story and your eyes start watering? This is literally what's happening right now to me right now. So listen to this. Lands his first paying client. That was the first ever client I got. Build a team for my agency. I did that. Scaled my agency to 10K per month. Although it took me a long time to do that, I did that. I then moved into this apartment that I'm sitting in right now, which is pretty much my dream apartment. Did that again. This was all before I even had closed my first proper client. So I'm just trying to speak it into existence. It's almost like manifestation. I don't even really believe in manifestation, but after seeing this is weird because I forgot all about this, and pretty much every single thing I did on this list and said that I was going to do, I've achieved. Just listen to how crazy this is. Moves into my dream apartment. Although it's not the exact same one, I said that I wanted floor to ceiling windows. Got those in the background right there. I wanted a balcony and a huge ass kitchen. I've got a huge ass kitchen. This stuff is insane. In fact, the apartment I'm in now is much bigger than this apartment, because this apartment, I actually know which apartment it is. It's in Sheffield. Listen to this. The very next thing after I move into my apartment, I said, I'm gonna go and create the best course on SMA ever, because I was tired of all these crappy courses. Guess what I did? I created my first ever digital program. Well, it was my first ever proper digital program, which was agency transmutation. The next thing I said was get my dream BMW with ease. Although I didn't want the BMW, I technically don't really like these BMWs anymore. I mean, they're okay. If you look at my journey, it's followed this exact path. Do you know how crazy it is for me to set this goal and then read this every day, but then forget about it and then pick it up like a couple years later? I've only just picked this up today to look at it, to make this video about the schedule that got me to where I'm at today. I've gone back through my old resources. Literally, this has got dust on it. And I've looked at my goals, and it's like every single thing I said I was gonna achieve, I've achieved. The only one I've not achieved is move to my dream apartment in Kensington. I don't even really want to move to London. It's just way too expensive for what it is, and it's way too dangerous. There's too many, crimes down there. I'll just call it that. There's too much crime down there. So if you take a look at my journey, I got my first client, built my agency team. That was the exact reason why I was able to scale my agency to 10K a month, which was because I was using the Upwork system to hire virtual assistants to do outreach for me, which was 50 outreach per day, cold emails for me. And I was using Upwork to finance that. I called that the hybrid system. I then was able to scale myself up to 10K a month, and never guess what? The very next month I scaled my agency to 10K a month, I got this apartment. This apartment that I'm sitting in right now. It says it right here in the book. Creates the best SMA course. Created a really, really, really amazing program. In fact, my program's so good that there's a guy on YouTube right now. I'm not going to say any names, but I posted it on my Instagram story yesterday. You know, from the time of you're recording this, it's today. I posted it on my story. There's a guy on YouTube right now that's literally getting over 50,000 views on some of his videos, who's literally just stealing what I'm saying in my program line for line about how to use Upwork to get clients for your marketing agency. And he's gave me no credit. He's using my templates, my scripts, my portfolio template. And then when someone commented on his video about how he learned this system, guess what he said? Instead of saying, oh yeah, I actually bought a program from Montel. And by the way, he actually bought my program. I literally saw that he logged in 8 days ago. I can see on the back end of Teachable. He replied back to the person who said, how did you learn all this stuff? He replied back and said, oh, I just learned from YouTube through YouTube and Google. It was absolutely BS, because I can literally see my templates on his Upwork profile as we speak right now. So I created one of the best SMA programs around Upwork and revolutionized that. Then I got my dream car. My dream car wasn't necessarily a BMW, but it was a Porsche. Got my first Porsche. High as a full-time PT. I didn't do that because I'm lazy as hell. Achieved 250K in no time. Did that. My YouTube channel, 30K subs. Just recently done that. This month. How insane is this? My YouTube channel's just reached 30K subs this month. 45K profit achieved. I did that like 2 years ago. Moved into my dream apartment in Kensington. That's the one I said I don't want to move to London, to be honest with you. It's just horrible. I personally don't really like London anymore. It used to be good back in the day. Turned into a bit of a gangster's paradise, to be honest with you. Listen to this. Just listen to how crazy this is. This last one here really brings tears to my eyes. The next goal of mine was to create a course on personal branding. What have I just released? Just last month, on the 20th of March. I can't believe that this is real. I cannot believe that this is real. I've only just released my program called the Personal Brand Academy and launched the website live on the 20th of, no, it was the 6th of March, excuse me. I actually had it written down on my to-do list or like my vision. I was just thinking outlandishly far for these goals seemed to be unfathomable. Like I couldn't even think of this. Just listen to this. This is the Montel Gordon story. I'm just going to read this little bit here for you. Just listen to this. From starting entrepreneurship completely broke, shy, and scared to even talk to the delivery driver on the phone, I'm not joking, when ordering food. This is what I wrote down. I went from completely broke, shy, scared, to even talk to a delivery driver when I'm ordering my own food on the phone with no contacts or network to leverage. With just a phone and a laptop, Montel became a self-made millionaire by the age of 27. I just announced that I made my first $1 million a couple months ago. Guess how old I was? 27. I've only just turned 28. 1 month ago. 1 month and 2 days ago. This stuff is in, this was back in 2019. The exact date. It's almost like I've actually predicted my own success, wrote down my actual to-do list, what I want my life to look like. Even look at this. I even got I want my body type to look like. Charismatic, classy, short side haircuts, blonde little highlight curls, quality shirts, high-end shoes. That's crazy. I was just looking at a Rolex Datejust two-tone with the diamond dial just the other day. This is honestly insane. This is honestly insane. This stuff is honestly insane, guys. That right there, I just want to give huge, massive credit to Mr. Sam Ovens, because honestly, that is the most craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, guys. It's like, I tried so fucking hard, guys. I don't think you understand. I tried so fucking hard to become an entrepreneur and make it and get myself out of the 9-to-5 system, because there was just no way I was working a job. Look, I said it right here. Look, I said it right here. With no uni degree, I never ever want to work a job ever again, like ever. Look, you can see it literally has the word job with an X through it. You can see the money with an X through it, meaning I had no money, no degrees, no job, no money. No degree, no job, no money. Guys, I don't think you understand, but I still hit 10K. And this was before I even made $2,000 a month. This stuff is this is actually impressive. This is so accurate that it's actually scary. And again, just to show you the date on this, and I know that people aren't gonna believe me that I created this back in 2019. But if you take a look at my actual YouTube channel, right? If you go to my YouTube channel, if you go to my videos, go to oldest video, like my oldest videos, and go to the ones where I'm in my bedroom. Just look at this, watch this. I just want to show you the ones where I'm in my bedroom. I'm gonna open this one. Look, you can even see it on the thumbnail. I'm just gonna quickly grab this one.
So, guy.
Look at this. You can actually, this, if you guys know of Sam Ovens' program, you'll recognize that straight away. This one, there you go. The actual video of me with this in the background. Look at it, it's right there. The yellow Lamborghini, the Range Rover right there, the same house, Dan Locke in the red suit, the little dollar sign there in the corner. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. It's absolutely right there. That is fucking scary, guys. That is absolutely weirdly scary. The other thing I want to break down as well in this video is I've been talking about this personal brand stuff for ages. And this was before I even created this and knew about Sam Ovens and all those people. This is a video on my channel 5 years ago. So this, well, technically it's almost 6 years ago at this point. You can literally go to my YouTube channel. If I go back, I think I had it loaded up a second ago. There you go, here's the video. Here's the same video. The 27th of April, 2018, where it's the 13th right now of April, 2024. I said your personal brand is the most profitable business you could ever start. And the thumbnail for this video was, this business can make anyone a millionaire, no startup costs. I said that almost 6 years ago this month. And I've made the majority of my money through my personal brand. Your favorite gurus have made their majority of their money through their personal brand. You should be starting a personal brand. I was talking about this stuff when I was dead broke. Look at this, the 27th of April, 2018. So guys, when I say that I make these videos for you guys, I'm genuinely being serious. Like, look at this guy again. Made his first $500 just through watching my YouTube channel. So my nefarious goal, I know it's not nefarious, but some people, they'll see that I've got a program in the description and be like, oh my God, you started a program, therefore your information is invalid. No, it's not invalid. The whole idea is there's gonna be a small percentage of people that want my help further, so you can just go and enroll in the program. I'm not gonna be one of those guys that lies and says, oh, I'm not gonna monetize my YouTube channel ever, and then sell you on some Go High Level affiliate stuff in the background because I've got a free community. And then in that free community, I shadow sell people. You think that's not how your favorite gurus are doing it? Come on guys, think. Why would somebody open up a free community and be like, oh my God, it's gonna be the world's leading agency community? Come on guys, man. At least I'm being clear. Look, my goal here is, my nefarious goal is to make my videos so in depth here on YouTube for free, to make you money here for free, to the point where it's like, you know what, Montel actually made me money. Like this guy here, just exactly like this guy. This is, in fact, this right here is exactly what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to make you guys money for free so that you say stuff like, oh, I owe you. Because then I've earned your business at that point. I call it, well, I don't call it, it's just the law. And the law is the law of reciprocity. When you give to people, eventually they'll be like, you know what, I'm actually indebted to this guy. He's helped me. I made my first $500 because of Montel. What is it gonna be like when I get into his program? There's a link. So that's my nefarious plan. That's actually my nefarious plan. That's the aim. That's my selfish plan, to make you guys money. So that eventually you're like, you know what, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. So guys, let's jump straight into, and again, forgive me for going so crazy into this, but this has been the scariest thing I've ever witnessed. The scariest thing I've ever witnessed. This here, I cannot even believe that. That's getting framed. That needs to get framed or some shit. Like, genuinely speaking, I can't believe I actually even put that in a drawer. So guys, I've made around, I know someone's gonna say that this is fake as well. I'm just gonna go over to my friggin' dashboard and just refresh my page for you. This is literally my Stripe account. By the way, I don't run an agency anymore at all. I don't even think they're a great business model, to be honest with you. If you want me to break this down in another video, I'll probably explain it to you. If not, I'll just leave something in the description why I just don't think they're a great business model. The best business model, if I'm being serious with you guys, is to turn your own knowledge. And this is somebody who used to be an SMA guru. I used to be an advocate of SMA. But what I've noticed is that the times have changed, and because times have changed, the facts have changed. I'm not just gonna stay stagnant and teach you guys and tell you guys to go and start a marketing agency when I just don't think it's the greatest business model anymore. The greatest business model right now is to turn your own information, your own knowledge into a program or productize it. Because when you've got a product, you become a slave to nobody. I am telling you right now, when you run an agency and you've got 10 clients paying you 1.5K each per month, you're making 15 grand a month, right? You are still a slave to your clients. It's slavery, but it's diluted slavery amongst 15 different people, because you still have to answer to 15 different people. Whereas when you create your own product, I personally think that that's a real proper business. You're not just trying to leverage someone else's skills in order to, AKA a media buyer, to try and fulfill this service for them. Not only that, but you're always a replaceable service provider. Let me give you an example. Take a look at Mr. Iman Gadzhi. We all know Iman Gadzhi is a very easy person to understand, because we probably all watched at least one of his YouTube videos, right? He's a person that if he stopped creating content on YouTube, there'd be hundreds, probably even hundreds of thousands of people worried about his health, where he's at, why he's not posting anymore. People that actually care about him as well, and people that have changed their lives because of Mr. Iman Gadzhi. For example, me, Sam Ovens, has changed my entire life with the Alchemy of Self stuff. This is a journal that I still read today, by the way. Not this exact one, I've upgraded it since then, but this is a mindset journal that I read every single morning. I used to read every single morning, and I'm not joking, I literally just created one, not even last week, because I update it every quarter, every 3 months, and obviously we're in the 4th month now. But just to look back at this has been absolutely insane. So if somebody like Iman Gadzhi or Sam Ovens stopped creating content, which Sam Ovens has, people would care about that. But I'm here to tell you, like, when I slowly closed out my agency in November 2022, nobody cared. It was kind of heartbreaking, to be honest with you. I'd have thought at least like one of my old clients would be like, oh, sorry to see you go, but like, not really. Nobody really cared. Now I'm actually doing things that I love, and I'm getting results for real people, and they're telling me stuff like, Montel, you're a beast. Saying that this is not even the rest of the story. I posted the rest of the conversation on my Instagram story. So if you're watching this in time, you'll probably be able to see it if you go to my Instagram. But he basically saying, I owe you a lot. It's his first ever $500 client because he watched my YouTube channel. For free. So guys, let me jump into today's video. Again, let me just open up my Stripe account, refresh this for you guys. So business has been a little bit up and down recently, only because I've ended up closing out pretty much the agency side of things. I don't really talk about agency stuff anymore, to be honest with you guys. I just don't think it's the greatest business model, and I've been kind of known for the agency stuff, so for my business to go down a little bit, that's completely fine with me, but now it's coming back up. You'll start seeing that in the Stripe account, actually, funnily enough. So and it took me about 30 months. There was a period where I made $1 million in about 30 months flat, right? 30 months to about 32 months flat. And I just want to show you how I've basically been able to do this. But yes, this is a real number, by the way. If I take this number and put it in USD, and by the way, this is just Stripe. There are other payment processors. As you can see, that's like 1.05 million. There's other payment processors such as PayPal. There's PayPal. I used to take crypto, so I've taken a few crypto payments, and direct wire transfers. So if you consider all those together, I've made just over actually $1.1 million in my entirety. I just want to show you how I've done this from completely broke. So let's jump into the actual routine. So there's your proof. Hopefully, again, someone's gonna be, oh my God, no, it's fake. No. Oh my God. Here you go, refresh the page. So I do need to change this from technically we're actually we can still class ourselves as a consulting business, to be fair, which consulting agency, pretty much the same shit, to be honest with you guys. It sounds weird. If you don't understand that, just drop a comment, I'll explain it to you. Can't be bothered to do it right now. But long story short, guys, here's the actual routine that got me to where I'm at right now. And it's crazy to even look at this, because it feels like I only just created this just the other day. This, by the way, was created back in, I believe this was 2021-ish. I think like late 2021 or like mid 2021. But you'll be able to see like what I was doing every single day. And my routine used to look my morning routine's always been this. It's pretty much my morning routine's always been Wake up at 6:30. It used to be 5:30. Just couldn't hack the 5. Well, I could hack the 5:30. It just wasn't as consistent. I was a young dude back then as well. You know, just wanted to stay up slightly a little bit later than like 9 p.m. 9:25 p.m. I used to go to bed. As I think it was Winston Churchill that said this, or Benjamin Franklin, I think it was. Early to bed, early to rise makes a young man rich, wealthy, and wise. Something on the lines of that. I probably butchered that, but you get the point. So I used to wake up at 6:25 a.m. I was wake up. First thing I used to do was drink water straight away. So if you guys are wondering what I used to do, the exact routine, this is actually it. I've not shared this before. Wake up, pretty much, you know, I call it 6:30 a.m. Drink water, and I used to aim to put my feet on the floor immediately. Because as soon as you wake and you hear an alarm, the first thing you normally do is you try to snooze the alarm. I also used to put my phone across from my room, like across from the actual room, and I used to use an app called Alarmy, which was an alarm. So go and download this right now if you can't wake up consistently. This is what's going to help you. Get Alarmy. Alarmy is an alarm clock, right? It's an app, and it's an alarm that just does not go off until you complete a certain action. My certain action was I had to literally scan a barcode. So I had to pull out my phone, and if you tried to press stop on the alarm, it just wouldn't stop until I went and scanned a little barcode in my kitchen. So I had to go all the way downstairs, run downstairs, and try to keep my phone as quiet as possible, right? Because obviously I didn't want to wake everybody else up in the house. Run downstairs to the kitchen. I'd have to open up the cupboard door, and there was like a cutout of like a little barcode from one of the teas. I drink Yorkshire tea, by the way. Shout out to Yorkshire tea. And I would scan the Yorkshire tea barcode, and that would finally disable the alarm. The reason why I did it like that is because if you first of all, if you just got your phone next to your bed and you turn and your alarm goes off, you're just probably gonna hit snooze a bunch of times. I know what it's like. You're gonna roll over. That bed feels way too sweet. It feels too sweet in the morning. So you're probably not even gonna get up. So this forces you to get up. The next thing I did was I would eat breakfast, and of course my breakfast, being a British person, was toast and tea. No joke, I've literally got a tea cup right there, and I still just eat toast and tea for my breakfast. Nothing fancy or anything like that. I should probably eat some more protein because I'm skinny as hell. I would then read my morning mindset. It would take me 20 minutes to read my morning mindset, and then I would read a book. Some of the books I read back in the day were like Russell Brunson's books. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. It was one of the first books I ever read. Napoleon Hill books. One of my favorite books was Outwitting the Devil. That was absolutely amazing book, by the way. Crazy title, I know, but just go read the book. You'll know what I'm talking about. I read so many books, man. If you guys want some book recommendations or whatever, just comment the word books, and I'll maybe do a video on what books I recommend you should read. Sales books, Sabri Subi's books. I read Zig Ziglar's books. I read all the classics, basically. All the classics you can think of. How to Win Friends and Influence People, obviously, is in there. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Pitch Anything by Oren Klaff, one of my favorite sales, in fact, my favorite sales book of all time. I would then shower and dress. I would then jump straight to my computer, and I would do 25 Upwork outreach. This by the way, was when as you can see, this particular schedule here is slightly updated. In fact, wait, I think I've got there. Yeah, this was actually monk mode. Oh, why is it cropped off? Hold up a second. Oh, it's because it didn't look as cool, not cropped. There you go. So this was actually, is that fully uncropped now? Yeah, that's fully uncropped, because I tried to put these two together. That's why. I was gonna say, you know, this equals this, but this looks ugly. Different sizes, basically. I'm got OCD like that, I guess. But this was monk mode 3.0, so this was the third iteration of my calendar, or like schedule. So the idea was to stick to this for 90 days straight and completely set myself free. So this is when I had just figured out that I need to do cold emails at scale, but build a team, and I started building a outreach team. So this was technically just before, this was actually just before May 2021. No, it was actually after, because I was actually creating AT slides. Yeah, so it was like midway, halfway, probably near to the end of 2021. So forgive me for the confusion there. So Upwork outreach. I was in Upwork outreach from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. I was in Upwork outreach and 50 emails. At that point, I was still doing the emails myself, and I was still figuring out how to build my own email team. Because again, remember when I said that I was in the Upwork outreach stuff and I was making money from Upwork, and then I was taking that money and hiring virtual assistants. Well, this is the work that I got virtual assistants to do, the 50 emails, because it was so tedious and time consuming. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, can't I just hire somebody to go and do this for me? So I just created the whole, this is the how I created the system. Then I had like a fried breakfast for 30 minutes at 10:30 to 11 a.m. 11 a.m. to 1 was just a bunch of, discovery calls. I would shoot my YouTube videos and I would record the slides for Agency Transmutation, because this was after I had built out my team, built my agency past like 10K a month, I believe it was. Yeah, so it was after I built to 10K a month. But this is pretty much the same routine. So follow this routine if you're trying to build out an agency or build out a coaching business type thing. The point is this: these things here need to be non-negotiable. Whatever it is, these are your inputs that create your outputs. So you need to really figure out, because it becomes a numbers, this stuff becomes a numbers game. Let me give you an example. I was speaking to one of my students in my program right now, not to plug it or anything like that, but he was basically saying to me that he's, start creating his content on YouTube, all that sort of stuff. And I was just giving him some advice, he didn't really ask for it, but I was just saying, hey, good job. The first couple of videos are always the hardest because you always think you're going to be judged the most and all that sort of stuff. And I said to him, look, what I need you to do though is there's going to be this voice in your head, and I call it the little bitch voice. And your little bitch voice is the voice that you have in your head that basically tells you all these excuses not to pick up the camera and record your videos, or not to do your outreach, or not to get out of bed in time, or not to hit that cold shower, or not to meditate that day, or not to read a book that day. There's always that little voice in the back of your head, and it logically sounds like it's telling the truth. For example, it will make you do weird stuff like, oh, I just want to go clean my bedroom first before I do my outreach. And then you end up cleaning your bedroom, cleaning the kitchen, and then by the time it's time to do your outreach, you're already too tired and you can't bother to do your outreach. But at the time, it made so much more sense to clean your room because it gave you a logical argument. It's almost like your brain tricks you by using your own logic against you. That's what I've noticed. It will say stuff like, oh yeah, Montel, just go and clean your room first before you do some outreach. This was back in the day for sure. And that argument would kind of make logical sense to me. So I would get tricked by my own self, I call it the lower version of yourself, or your bitch self. So the bitch self of me would pop its head up and be like, just go clean your room first. And because I would go and clean my room, I'd leave no time for outreach. Or by the time I got to outreach, I'd have done like 10 different things, wasted all my energy, and said, you know what, I can't bother to do outreach, I'll just do it tomorrow. And I kept putting it off. So it comes up with these logical arguments like, by cleaning your room, you'll have more open space and that will allow you to be more productive, because the way how you do one thing is the way how you do everything. And if you've got a messy room, you've got a messy mind. So therefore, clean the room first and then do your outreach, because you'll be more focused that way. So it does come up with these logically sound arguments to throw you off track. That's what I've noticed. So this is what my routine would look like. These right here were non-negotiables. And this is what I need you guys to understand. If you're doing outreach or whatever it is that you're building, creating content, you need to block off the calendar and you need to routinely do the same thing on the same times, on the same days. For example, Mondays might be at 8:30 a.m. I'm recording 2 videos for 4 hours straight. So every Monday I know when that alarm goes off, you can even set an alarm for this, at 8:30 a.m. There is nothing that I should be doing. I should not be checking emails. I should not be replying to clients. I should not be building module slides. I should not be building my digital products. I should not be taking calls. I shouldn't be doing anything other than those 2 videos per week. So what this does is it treats it almost like a religious routine. That's the way how you want to think of it. You need to religiously do the same tasks that are the inputs that create the outputs. So the student I was talking to I was mentioning a second ago, he was saying that I was saying to him, should I say, that you need to focus on not the views, the likes, the comments, the engagement, or subscribers just yet. What you need to do is focus on creating 56 videos minimum before you even think about looking at your numbers. So you need to, because he was worried about how many subscribers he's got on his YouTube channel and how big of an audience he's building. Because personal branding, you obviously want to build an audience because that's what you call social leverage. And I said to him, don't worry about subscribers because your subscribers are a byproduct. They're the output of the inputs. You haven't got enough inputs yet to even warrant enough subscribers. And what I mean by that is he hadn't created, the things that get you subscribers is consistent quality content over time. You haven't done this thing yet, so why are you worried about this thing over here? You're worried about an output, but you've not even done the inputs that produce the output. So you need to worry about the inputs and focus on those inputs, and don't even worry about the outputs because the outputs come and sort themselves out. So you might as well not give any brain power to the outputs. You might as well just put all your brain power into the inputs, which is creating your YouTube videos. The way how you do that consistently as well is you block off your calendar like this and you sit down every single, at the same time, same day, same hour, same minute, doing the same tasks. So that might be for you on a Monday at 8:30 a.m. Your task is to script out 2 YouTube videos and to shoot those 2 videos straight after. You script out 2 videos, go for lunch, come back and shoot those 2 videos. But you do that every single Monday at the exact same time because that's the input that's going to get you the subscribers, the clients, the comments, the likes, the audience that you need to build out your personal brand. In this particular case, it was the agency. I knew to get to 10K a month, don't even worry about, that was the goal, I set it and forgot it. That was the goal, but that's the output. The input to get to 10K a month is not worrying about 10K a month, it's worrying about how many outreach am I doing every single day, and am I staying consistent with this outreach every single day? And to stay consistent with my outreach every single day, I need to block off my calendar every single day at the same times, doing the same task in a very systemized and religious, it's almost like a religious way of thinking about it. For example, we all know that Muslims pray 5 times a day and it's the same times every single day, I believe it is. Same time in the same direction, facing Mecca, for example. I took a similar concept and said, you know what, I need to treat this like it's my religion. That is not to compare this to religion. Obviously, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody's religion. I'm not trying to be. But you get the point I'm trying to make. It needs to be a set thing that you do in the same set way, at the same set time, doing the same number of them as well. So it's systemized. If you can crack that and you consistently do that for 90 days straight, that will fix 90% of your business problems, because most people don't have business problems. They have personal problems that reflect in their business. Most people, and I said this way back in 2021, when I was helping people build out their Upwork stuff, I said that most people can't even wake up at the same time every single day for 90 days straight. Most people can't even brush their own damn teeth twice a day for 90 days straight without missing a day. Never mind do Upwork outreach every single day. And never guess what? The people that I worked with, and again, I worked with I think it's over 1,000 agency owners at this particular point. I don't really work with them now because I'm transitioning agency owners into information synthesizers because I think that's a much better business. Digital products, selling information that actually gets a transformation. Services, moving your services into a programized service if you still want to do the agency route, all that sort of stuff. But what I was saying to people when I was helping them is, you don't really have an agency problem. You've got a problem with outreach. You're just not doing enough outreach and you're not doing it consistently enough. And the people that complain to me, they would always, I'm not joking, there's literal people that have said to me, Montel, I've created 5 posts on my Instagram, what's going on? I'm not getting clients. And I thought to I just sat there and I said, wait, I actually replied back to the guy and I said, 5 posts, as in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type of 5? Do you mean like 2.5 times 2 type 5? Do you mean like 10 divided by 2 type 5? That type of 5? Or did you mean 50? Did you mean 50 or was that a typo? Because to say that you've created 5 pieces of content online and you expect to make money is literally the most delusional shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Insanely delusional. So the next thing, and I see this all the time with no matter what system I tell you to stick to. I'll give you the Upwork equivalent to this. I've had people literally tell me they've done 100 pieces of Upwork outreach and not closed a client yet. And I'm sat there thinking, like, you do know that's 4 days worth of work, right? As in like 25 outreach on Upwork per day for 4 days. You mean to tell me that you expect to get and make money online? You've never done this before, and you expect 4 days of work to do this. I didn't even make money in 4 days when I started Upwork. And I created the damn Upwork system, you know, taking a lot of stuff from mentors and programs and YouTube videos and all that crazy stuff. So to say that is insane. So then I would have I'd have a fried breakfast, emails, then I would take my discovery calls in the evening, record YouTube videos, and then record agency tramitation slides. So this is when I was, yes, definitely confirmed that. I was definitely completing the agency tramitation slides and shooting those. Lunch break, and then what I would do on my lunch break is take an Instagram story, and then again, after my lunch break for an hour and 30 minutes, I would take discovery calls, and so I had a few coaching clients back then, where I would just coach people like one-to-one, service delivery. I take team calls with my team doing the outreach, media buyers and stuff like that. I had, you know, I had a few media buyers back then, and 2 media buyers, and like 1 or 2 social media managers. Because majority of my clients were like social media management clients. And then I would finish off some agency tramitation slides. Then I would have my dinner at like 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And while I would eat dinner, I would just talk to my clients on Slack, like my actual SMA clients on Slack, and my coaching clients, I think they were on Telegram at that particular point, or WhatsApp back in that time, one of those 2 platforms. And then this is probably the most important thing, because your morning routine is the thing that sets you up for the day. But the thing that sets the morning routine is your night routine, because your morning routine is just a byproduct of your night routine. Because if you don't go to bed on time, you don't wake up on time. And if you don't wake up on time, you don't stick to your morning routine. And if you don't stick to your morning routine, you don't get to work on time, which then throws the whole day off. So it's actually your night routine that's actually more important than your day routine, or your morning routine. Because if you get a good night's sleep, you're going to wake up early in the morning. Even if you don't read or you miss a day of reading, at least you're still up early. So the night routine for me was, and I've got a very similar night routine. It's crazy to see that I was still and I'm still using the same stuff to this day. 9:30 p.m. I would set my systems up. When I say set my systems, I basically mean I would clear my desk. You know, clean desk, clean mind. Clean desk, clean mind. Remember that. Clean trash can on my computer. Let's see if I got a clean trash can. There you go. Clean, still to this day. Didn't even know that I was clean, but clean trash can on my computer. Clean everything. Needs to be clean, 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 clean. Clean, no scattered, no mess, clean desk. You see what I'm trying to say? The way how you do one thing is the way you do everything. Very good, important lesson that I took. I think that was actually I heard it first from Sam Ovens, but then I heard that same saying again like 3 days ago, and it's from a Japanese philosopher. I'll put his name in the comment section below. Yashimoto or something like that. Something Yashimoto. Anyway, long story short, set my systems up. That would be, one of my systems were to get my tea like cup out, put my tea bag in the cup, and then put my plate on top of the tea bag cup, so that and put water in the kettle. So as soon as I woke up in the kitchen, went downstairs to the kitchen, I already had water in the kettle, didn't need to think of it. My clothes for the day were already folded out for me. I already made that decision last night. So when I woke up, I didn't need to do any decision making. That's called decision fatigue. Imagine you've got 100 good decisions that you make every single day, right? You don't want to be wasting those 100 good decisions on small stuff like, do I need to fill the kettle up or not? And then you go and fill the kettle up and come back. I know it sounds stupidly small, but these sort of stuff adds up. It's called death by 1,000 cuts, as Sam Ovens would say. What clothes do I wear the next morning? What food am I going to eat the next morning? That was all sorted out the night before. You know, this was back when I didn't really have any money, so I didn't really have a private chef or anything like that, or somebody cooking my food, not a private chef, but you know what I mean. And I would plan my day at night, the night before. This is absolutely crucial. I don't think you understand how crucial this is. I'm telling you this, I know that this sounds so simple, but I'm telling you this video right here that I'm showing you right now will probably make you more money than if I was to show you how to boost Instagram posts. Because it's not actually the boosting of the Instagram posts that's gonna make you rich. It's not actually the outreach that's gonna make you rich. It's the consistency and the mindset that makes you rich. I'm not joking. I'll give you an example. I'm a course producer, guys. I'm on the other side. I've been a regular dude. I've bought programs and I've also created programs. I've been on both sides, guys. I've been on fucking both sides, right? And I'm here to tell you, as a course producer and a course consumer, I've seen it where I've received a free course from somebody, you know, that they shouldn't have had, they've just ripped it. I've gone and taken that course, and because I didn't pay for it, I've not taken it seriously. But I've also given my course to somebody for free, like family and friends, and it's the same program that I'm having people who have now built a whole YouTube channel around my stuff when they're making 10 grand a month for their agencies because of Upwork stuff, which came from my program, by the way. And they've gone through the same program as them, the same scripts, the same templates, the same everything, but the person that got it for free has never done anything with it. Yet the person that bought my program now, well, there's multiple people that have gone and scaled past 10K a month, but the recent one I just come across is a dude that's now stealing my shit, and he's on YouTube talking about it, pretty much line for line. So what's the difference? It's the same information, the same systems, the same scripts, the same everything. So, and what I've come to understand it's not the scripts. It's not the scripts. It's not the magical thing that you're looking for. Because I know what you're looking for, a magical system that's not on the internet somewhere. To finally be like, aha, this is it. This is how I make 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 100 grand a month. It doesn't exist, guys. It's all mindset, to be honest with you. It's all mindset. You can honestly probably scale an agency, right? Or whatever it is that you're trying to scale by just going door to door if you had the right mindset. You could literally take it to Stone Age levels and send friggin' mail out to businesses in your local area. And if you did that long enough, you probably scale to 10K a month. It all works is what I'm trying to say. As long as your mindset works, as long as your mind works. Then what I would do is I still do this to this day. I'm not gonna joke. You know what? I'm gonna go grab this because you guys think I'm joking. I need to just grab this right now. Look, got my tea here, and yes, there was actually tea in this. But I would listen to lo-fi music, have my nightly tea, and read for 30 minutes. So there you go. My little candles lit as well. Now that I've got some money to spend on candles and literally burn money, literally. And then I would sleep for 8 hours, and I'd wake up and do the exact same things over and over and over and over and over again, 6 days a week, and Sunday was my day off. That's it. That routine has got me to where I'm at right now. Not necessarily the inputs, well, obviously the inputs have created me the outputs, but it's the routine, the mindset, and the thinking that's got me to where I'm at right now. The little input stuff has changed for me recently. For example, I'm now focused on creating ads, running ads, creating content, building an audience, emailing my list. Those are my inputs these days. YouTube content, Instagram content, ads, funnels, VSLs. Those are much more leveraged inputs. What I mean by leveraged inputs is for example, doing cold outreach, for example, doing 50 emails a day is a form of non-leveraged marketing. I call it one-to-one marketing, in fact. If you want to reach out to 100 businesses and you're doing cold outreach, for example, and you're running an agency, well, then you now need to go and find 100 businesses, scrape 100 businesses' details, headhunt for the proper person you're trying to reach out to, and then do 100 outreach to individual people. So it's like 100 pieces of work over and over and over and over. It's the same thing, it's the same outreach, as in like you're doing the action, but you have to do it 100 times over. Whereas leveraged outreach or leveraged input tasks are tasks where you can create the work one time and they get distributed and seen by thousands of people. For example, writing an email to my email list, I do the work one time, but it gets sent out to thousands of people on my email list. Creating a YouTube video. I created a video on this very channel. Let's go to my actual channel real quick. Here you go. Here's a video that I created 6 days ago. In fact, let's go to this one because this will give you a even better understanding. This video right here, how I made 107 grand selling digital products, right? As a beginner. I shot that 3 weeks ago. Did the work one time. It took me 1 hour to record this video, 1 hour to plan, so 2 hours worth of work, but it reached back. It gained me 107, it gave me 133,000 views. So I did the work one time, but it's still being seen 105 times per hour, 3 weeks later. You see what I'm trying to say? This is much more leveraged stuff. This is why I keep saying to you guys, you need to build a personal brand. My whole spiel right now is stop listening to gurus and replicate what they're doing, because they've obviously figured something out, which is why they're all closing out the agencies and going and turning themselves into digital products. I think you need to do the same, which is why I just updated my cover letter saying detach income from time by productizing your mind. I've been talking about this since 2018. Before your favorite gurus were even talking about this, literally. So that's what you call high leveraged tasks. If you want to compete with me in terms of outreach, you would literally need to be doing 105 outreach per hour for the last 3 weeks straight, every single hour. It's probably impossible. And even if you did do that, you'd need a lot of domains, a lot of cold calling doing. It wouldn't be worth it. I did the work one time. You have to keep doing the work over and over and over again. So guys, honestly, watch this video back. I know that it's a little bit all over the place. I know that I was a bit emotional in this particular video, but honestly, this stuff has been life-changing. Sam Ovens, shout out to you. And this is just testament as well to all those people that are like, oh, courses don't work. Courses fucking work, guys. I actually said in my book, back when I was, how old was I back then? I think I was like 22 years old. 21, 22 years old or whatever it was. 23, I don't know, you do the maths. I said to myself that with just a laptop and a phone, I will make myself a self-made millionaire by the age of 27. And I actually hit my first $1 million not too long ago in my business. I wrote this when I was completely broke, literally broke. Insane stuff, guys. So courses, they do work. Don't start that bullshit. I already know what you guys say. Oh, courses. Guys, courses work, man. If you don't believe me, just go and listen to like some of your favorite gurus, like when they're on podcasts and they're not trying to do YouTube videos and sell you some shit. You'll hear in the podcast what somebody will literally ask them. Oh, how did you get to where you were? Like, you know, I took a lot of courses, a lot of mentors, blah, blah. I was like, wait, you just said in your YouTube video that courses didn't work, but now you're on someone else's podcast saying that you got to where you're at right now because of courses. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this particular video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.